The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good day from TFNN. Welcome to the April 3rd, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, really, if you're listening right now, it's just past 8 o'clock in the morning. That's right. I'm doing the show today and tomorrow between 8 and 9. But if you're listening in on the normal hour, 1 to 2, I'll make this as pertinent as I possibly can. Of course, if you're listening in, I would love to hear from you. So just give us a call at 877-927-6648. If you can't call in, well, we've got you covered. You can send me an email like Earl did here. He's up early this morning, 7:11 a.m. And do that by sending me an email to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question or question mark, as often as some do. So let's, of course, in the Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. So right now, 8:08 in the morning, we got Dow Equity Future Contract. It's trading up 136 points. That's about 0.5%. ES Mini up 17, NASDAQ up 52, and the Russell is up about 12 points. Russell leading the charge percentage-wise to the upside. U.S. dollar index back 328 pennies right now. Trade out at 96.59. Gold is flat, trading at around the $12.95 range. $15 for silver out here. Light sweet crude is flat as well, trade at $62.59. So let's go to our first question, which came in from Earl, the Pearl out here. So Earl writes and says, let's see here. Hi, Steve. The S&P has a target price of 3,100. So I think what Earl's referring to is a much longer-term price target out here. Do you have any signs it will reach that price without a pullback to lower prices for a better buy based on previous charts you have shown with the month of May highlighted? So, Earl, let me just do this for you and for everybody else. Now, you mentioned the S&P, so we're going to take a look at the S&P as well as the ES Mini out here. And to do that, what do we want to do? So let me try to get two questions, because the second question, there was a question out here from Peter, and Peter was asking if there were any new market profiles to be aware of. And Peter, I don't know if you're referring to the equity markets, but let's just go take a look at what we've got out here. Let's try to kill two birds with one stone. Although who would want to kill a bird? You know what I mean? So where did that come from out there? But let's go take a look at the ES Mini. Let's start here in getting back to Earl's question. So right now, the ES Mini trading at 28.84. What do we know about the ES Mini as it relates to its horizontal trading ranges out here? Here's what we know for the ES Mini. The next resistance level is the daily time frame, 28, 98, 94. Now, we don't use, first you can't trade to 94, but regardless of that, we use this as kind of a general range out here, not necessarily to the tick, although sometimes it really works to the tick and then always amazes me. Probably doesn't amaze you, but it amazes me. So right now, with regard to the S&P or the ES Mini, 28.98 is game on. Now, I'm not saying that price cannot close above that. I'm saying if price does close above that, then that brings to us the next level. That gets you back to the all-time highs inside the ES Mini, 29.51.96. What we don't know, Earl, is whether or not price is going to be able to break out those highs, but that is a resistance zone, but real significant resistance zone. I won't say real significant. I'll just say significant because we've seen 22 opens or closes at the 28.98 level. Now we're at 84. That gives us another 15 points higher inside the ES Mini. That would appear to be its target. Remember that number. Well, you don't have to, but just say it's 2,900 out there. Now, from Peter's standpoint, with regard to the ES, and he wanted to see if there are any new profiles out here, and the answer is not on the daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly time frame out here. And that's what we're looking at, Earl and Peter, when we take a look at this window here. The window on the very left, now this is my synthetic contract. So when using a synthetic contract, it can have different profile levels than the current contract, which is June. But we've just recently gone through rollover, which means the data that the profiles would be used to calculate on would be somewhat limited if I just use the June contract. It doesn't mean in using the June contract that they're not valid. At one time, I used to say to myself when this first began happening out here, gosh, as you may, I wish there would just be one number that we could rely upon, just one number out there. Of course, you know, that would be very disingenuous for me to say each day, or most days out here, that life is happening for us versus to us, and then make that same statement out there. So what was the for us? Well, the for us was, what I really found was I've got a tool here because of the way that I've utilized the system, which is different than the way that others utilize the system out here, is I'm able to get an early indication that profiles are trying to form, which is in essence why Peter was asking that question out here. And it's a combination of using the synthetic contract and one other tool. I don't need to go into that for you, but the reality is having that, knowing that in advance that there is a new profile forming because of using the synthetic contract and this other tool was really the gift, and not having just one number to rely upon. Now, maybe you just don't get it out there, and that's okay, but here's what I want you to get. Resistance with regard to the ES Mini on the monthly and the quarterly time frame, and the reason why we're going there is because price is still below the bottom of those levels. Those are key levels. Those are longer term levels out here. And inside the monthly, the level that you're looking at, the top of its box, that's the lower left panel, is 28.92. I think we said 2,900. Well, how do we get to 2,900? If we take a look at the quarterly time frame, we're at 28.85. I guess 28.92 is the number, and that is the level on a monthly. That doesn't mean that price can't overshoot that level. It is a bearish structured box. What do we mean by that? Here's what we mean. Jelly bean. Seems like this is the time to be in the jelly beans out here. Let's just turn price off. That's going to be easiest to be able to help you identify. Here you can see the new monthly profile. That's in the very right-hand corner. How do I even do this to make it larger? I can do this. You would be amazed at the thing. I'm even amazed at the things I can do. But take a look now. See how that center of the box, that point of control, where buyers and sellers on a monthly basis believe there's fair value, 28.28. We're above that. Hey, we'll be right back, and we'll finish this up. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Stay with us.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching TigerTV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Hey, if you're listening in at the normal slot, which would be about 1:18 in the afternoon right now, the show's actually being recorded at 8:18. But nonetheless, the information that you and I are taking a look at is very pertinent to, regardless of the time frame. And we're dealing with what we're doing is we're trying to help Earl, who wrote in. You can also write in with a question, Steve at TFNN.com. Just put radio show question in the subject of that email. That makes it much easier for me to identify that it's you versus somebody else that's just sending an email out here. But we were looking at a blank screen, but yet this blank screen that's got some horizontal lines, it's got a diagonal line as well, really tells us a ton. And what we're trying to identify is where's the next level of resistance. Now, this is a monthly time frame chart. And the monthly time frame chart, what we were taking a look at before we went to that break, is that this is a bearish structured profile. Now, when I say bearish, I'm just referring from a directional standpoint, okay? I'm not saying we're in a bear market or something along those lines. So we're just using that terminology with regard to either bearish or bullish, directionally speaking. Now, the center line of this box at 28.28 is much closer to the top of the box. Since I've turned off price, it's much easier. And you're looking at the right-hand side of the profile. And this says that sellers, longer-term sellers, are a group between 28.28 and 28.92. Now, there would be nothing more bullish than a failed bearish pattern, and on a monthly basis, a close above 28.92 would then say price would be targeting this diagonal red. It's really kind of pink, right? This diagonal pink line out here. Let's go ahead and turn price on. So here's what we know about the ES Mini. It's at 28.83, at 28.92. That's a next level of resistance. If price is able to move above that, then all you really have to do is just take a trend line from the high in January of 2018. That's using the ES Mini. You can do it with the S&P 500 as well. And then take a look at the September high out there. That's where the trend line is drawn. That would give you, for this month, as an example, a price target of about 3,000. Out here. And Earl was asking the question about 3,100, but he mentioned, hey, will price just basically just go straight up and not pull back? And that is not likely. But here's what we do know, Earl. Price is running into resistance, a resistance area. It is trading at the resistance area of its quarterly profile. Now, here's the quarterly profile. And wouldn't you know, when you take a look at the quarterly profile, well, first, the top is 28.85. we're trading at the actual high today, 28.85.75. The top of the box, 28.85.75. You got to be kidding me out here. So maybe we're at resistance. Maybe we're right here, right now. But if it goes above that, it overshoots this, we know where the next profile level is using the monthly time frame. And here also on the quarterly basis, you can see the diagonal trend line. So if it overshoots, it gives you and I a price target. Now, that being said, out here with no new profiles, if price were to pull back and you were to ask the question, where's the buy area? Well, assuming there's no significant topping pattern out here. And how will we know that? Well, we would bring over the ES Mini. We would take a look at Stevie's other set of charts out here, which, by the way, shows the potential for an A to B equals CD to the upside pattern that's unfolding. That would take price to at least 29.29, if not 29.66. I know those are different numbers than what we gave you. Right now, I guess the whole purpose here is to understand where some longer-term resistance resides. You know that. I know that. It can be overshot, and then we can take a look at other patterns that are going on, and I'll get the word out of my mouth. Don't worry. Sometimes it's got to come from deep out there, but other patterns that would take us up into this 29.29 level. So where would be the place to possibly buy on a pullback? It could be Stevie's green line. That's at 28.63 right now. We're just going to have to take it one step at a time out there. No reason for me to. There is no topping pattern that is in place for the ES Mini as we speak right now. Now, I can go take a look at a shorter-term time frame. I'm happy to do that. I will do that. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame out here. What do we see? We just simply see that price hit resistance earlier. That's this little blue dashed line. It happens to also be a shooting star candle out there, but it's not because of the fact that that was a shooting star. But that shooting star, for today's action out here, what you would be watching is 28.84. On the 30-minute basis, a close above 28.84 would suggest higher prices coming at you. So I hope, Earl, that this helps you understand what Stevie is looking at and utilizing these sets of tools out here to help us understand where, in essence, the S&P 500. Now, if I switch to the S&P 500, here we can see that it has its next resistance level at 28.91. That's the daily horizontal trading range, 29.02, so that's your good range. That's the weekly. And then 29.35, which would happen to be the monthly horizontal trading range. There's not anything that I see thus far, at least at 8.23, that would suggest that price isn't going to extend to these general areas out here. The 3,100 level, well, that is likely coming from the S&P horizontal trading ranges out here, and we can see how well these act. You may be saying to yourself, what in the heck is a horizontal trading range? If you were a TFNN, or Mastering Probability, I should say, subscriber, you would be able to access the 1-hour workshop. It's a valuable, valuable tool out here. You can see how well it works. You want to be able to use it. Why did price stop at the 24.76? And by the way, I'm primarily using the body of the candle. Not primarily. I am only using the bottom, the open and close of the candle to generate these horizontal trading ranges out here. If you take a look at why did price stop back in 2000, at the 1558 level, well, it was a horizontal trading range. Did the same thing out here in 2007. Of course, that's setting up the giganto consolidation pattern out here. We can see that the pullback into December was down to a monthly horizontal trading range in the 24.76. That's where price opened in January of 29.18. It has blasted through the 27.05 level, and that brings us to 29.35. Closing above that. And the only caveat here, let me see if I can do this real quickly for us. Well, I'm pretty sure that I can. Let me just see. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Where is that? There. So in here, just simply you can see that price could, Earl, get above 29.35 and just hit that trend line, that little rising trend line. That's the high from January 2018. That's the high from September 2018. And then the S&P cash for this month, and I'm not saying this where price is going to, it takes you to about the 3,004 level, one step at a time. So there, that covers what Earl was taking a look at with regard to the longer term, and helps you to understand as well what's going on inside of the market. So thanks much for writing that in. Another question here says ES Daily chart SR isn't a 3 drive to a top pattern candidate if ESM rallies into April 8th or 9th. So let's go take a look at that for Mr. Z. What's the easiest way for us to do that? Well, I suppose the easiest way is to bring that daily chart back up. I'll tell you what, we're going to a break. And I'm going to clean up the chart just so we only look at that 3 drive to a top pattern. I would call it more of a butterfly than the 3 drive pattern, but maybe I'm looking at something different than you are. But let's go figure it out. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So let's go take a look at the ES Mini, and I see what John inside the Tiger's Den was referring to. And yes, this would be or could be a 3-drive to a top pattern that it would be setting up. So when we take a look at this, the cool thing about a 3-drive pattern is what you don't want to do is force the issue. We don't have to force the issue. What do I mean here? Well, one of the first things we take a look at is timing. And by timing, your first drive out here where you would begin that pattern, where I would begin that pattern is on the trading date of March the 4th out there. And so if we bring that along to the next high, which takes place on March 21st, that gives us our timing interval. So you don't want to force it. So ideally, this would be saying that where the 3 drive to a pattern could form would take us to April 9th. Now, the exact date that you used was April 8th or 9th. So Mr. Z in the den was really doing the same kind of thing. But this is how, and I think I read the question, but if I didn't, now I'm reading it, in essence, saying he gave a date target of April 8th or 9th out there. And I don't know if the 9th is a Monday or a Sunday or whenever, but that is your target range. Does it have to happen on that date? No, it doesn't. But it's got to be it's got to be in close proximity to that. Okay, so we know that out here. What we also know is that, so here, let me do this. I turned everything off on this chart. CD pattern. So let's turn on our A to B equals CD tool out here. And let's turn off, let me go ahead. We know April 8th or 9th is in essence the target. If we take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern, that's a requirement inside of the 3 drive to a top. Well, it would look like this. Your A to B equals CD gives you a price projection of 29.29. And we had talked about that. And that would take us to, this says 29.29. Gives us a target date of April 5th. Today's the 3rd. That would be Friday out here. Now, not that that has to occur like that, but that's really what I come to as another projected date. And then in essence, and it doesn't have to end at 29.29, but let me bring over the other chart, because here I can easily draw for you what that butterfly pattern looks like. Again, using the same swing points out here, we'll go ahead and begin drawing it in. Hopefully it grabs the appropriate points out there. And now you're going to see the beauty of what this looks like, and we'll project this. We take this out to, I don't know if that's the 8th or the 9th, 29.29, I believe was the number out there. That gets us to the 1-to-1. I'll try to get it right around there. It's 29.29. That, in essence, is what the 3 drive pattern would look like, or could look like. Now, I will give you Stevie's take on not just a 3 drive to a top pattern, but it includes the A to B equals CD out here. And how do we know when the pattern is going to complete? Isn't that really the question out here? We can draw patterns, pattern schmattern. What does it matter? The question is, how do we know if it's going to complete or not? I will just simply go down my journey with you as to how I arrived at what I did. You see, when I first learned about the A to B equals CD pattern and the butterflies and the Gartleys, I just traded them non-discriminately. What does that mean? That means as soon as the D point completed, I was a buyer or I was a seller. And all you have to do is go ahead and use that trading strategy and get slapped around enough by the market to say, why doesn't that work so well out there? And that's what took me on my journey, because I also at the same time, well, it was probably before that, I was learning about these cool Japanese candlesticks. Now, that makes a lot of sense, because the majority of my meals are raw fish, typically from Japan out there. I could eat it 7 days in a week. I could eat that meal 21 days a week. Of course, in the evening time, we add a little of the Japanese fire water called sake out there. But stay on track here. What I determined, what I found was that Japanese candlesticks were really cool, right? Because they just helped us understand what the message of the markets was for that day. And like many others out there, you found that you cannot really just trade on Japanese candlesticks alone. So what do you do with them? What I found was that an A to B equals CD pattern isn't going to complete until you see the sell, in this case here, the sellers show up. How do they show up? They show up by creating a Japanese reversal candle. By the way, that workshop also happens to be on my archive set of workshops for subscribers out there. So, so here's the deal, Shamil. Whether price is going to stop at 29.29 or not, I don't know. It's a price projection. How will we know? Because there will be a Japanese reversal candle that shows up at that area to at least provide you with enough information to say, okay, the pattern is complete. Price will continue to rise. Maybe price is going to head up to the 29.66 level, or maybe it's going to go beyond that to 3,015, because those are the 1.272 and the 1.618 expansion levels out here. If we were just taking a look at this chart right now, we're just taking a look at the ES Mini as an example, here's what you and I know. There's a 54% retracement on that B to C leg. What I want you to do is either imagine in your mind or take that rubber band that's just sitting on your desk, and I want you to wrap that rubber band as hard as you can around your index finger or any finger that you choose. Don't choose your middle finger, though, because I would see that. So choose one of the other fingers out there, but wrap it around as hard as you can. And now back it off 54% and let it go. What kind of energy do you have? Now, compare that to wrapping it around as hard as you can and backing it off 78%. You know, the 78.6 retracement. What kind of energy do you have? Now compare that to wrapping it around there as hard as you possibly can without breaking it. If you break it, it might snap and hit you right in the eye or something, but as hard as you can, and only back it off 38%, 0.382, and let it go. Which one has more energy? Yes, the 38.2%. Now, many of you knew that, so you got a 54%, not even a 0.618. It's got some pretty strong energy at this stage of the game. And that says 29.29 may not be the stopping price, may not be the one-to-one A to B equals CD. Let's just use these as guidelines, because that's really what they're to be used for. They're price projection. They're the progressive price projection tool. Only it's here at TFNN.com, brought to us by H.M. Gartley, further brought to us by our man Larry Pesavento, and then even further brought to you by Stefano here. That's right. Stefano saying, don't just sell the one-to-one A to B equals CD just because it creates what you and I would call a beautiful butterfly or three drive to a top pattern out here. I mean, it looks pretty. There's no doubt about it. But this is not a game about looking pretty. This is a game about being able to identify tops and identify bottoms out there. And if, in fact, we do that, we'll let the market communicate to you and I when that pattern is complete. So let's be on the lookout around that 29.29 area where we could see a three drive to a top pattern form. And let's wait for the bearish reversal signal. Whoosh! That's pertinent for those of you that are pattern traders out there, no matter whether it's 1:38 in the afternoon or 8:38 in the morning. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. ES Mini trade at 28.85 1/4. Right.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So at 8:42 in the morning, you got Dow futures up 131, S&P futures up about 19, NASDAQ, the NQ up 51, the Russell up 14 points out there. John, in the Tiger's Den, the butterfly pattern I was thinking about was one that I drew in earlier for subscribers this morning. That was on the daily time frame chart for the Dow. It looks like this. Gives you an initial price projection here of 26,546. That may be a pattern that also is unfolding. Gives you a nice 1.272 expansion from its swing point. So slightly different than what we looked at for the ES Mini out there. If price gets up to 26,546, folks, I'm not saying to go ahead and sell the Dow at that stage. I'm saying wait until you get a bullish reversal signal out there. So that's what that pattern looks like. What's interesting about the Dow, or should be interesting about the Dow, are the following things. One, if we take a look at the consolidation pattern. So you and I looked at this yesterday. Let me just kind of draw this yellow box, pull it back a little bit further this way out here. So here is our Dow consolidation. We can see that again today. Price is trading right into the top of this consolidation. Now, the level that we're really watching is the February 25th high. Shooting star candle out there. That high is 26,271. We're 26,280 as we speak right now, 9 points. Not enough to really. If we do get a close above 26,271, even though I showed a butterfly pattern with a price projection of 26,546, the actual consolidation breakout is 27,309, equal to or greater than. So if we do get a close above 26,271, we don't know if the breakout's real. But we just have to take the information that the market provides to you and I. And it would be a real breakout at that stage until you were to see a failure. And until you see a failure, this would provide a price projection of 27,309. So that's the interesting thing out here. But what's also interesting, because in dollars, we have the Dow testing a short-term price projection level. In terms of euros, we've traded right to the all-time high. Now, the Dow itself, priced in euros, hit a new all-time high 2 days ago. The cash Dow, the Dow equity futures contract, two different things out here. But the actual high I'm referring to is in, this is in euros. This is the right-hand panel screen, by the way. My apologies. You see two screens here. The one on the left is in dollars. The one on the right is in euros out here. The October 1st high priced in euros, 23,282. The actual high that we have seen so far is 23,282. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. So what's really cool Here's how you do this. Here's how you use this. Here's how you use these sort of price projections out here. If the Dow Equity Futures contract, priced in euros, closes over 23,282 simultaneously, I like saying that word, simultaneous, because the Dow Equity Futures contract also now in dollars is closing, if it closes over, so you got to simultaneously get both of these things going here, a close above 26,271, then you've got a preponderance. Oh, that's a big word out there. I can't even believe I use it. A preponderance of evidence to suggest higher prices. Now, is it going to be the butterfly target? Is it going to be the consolidation breakout target, 27,309? Is it going to be some other target? I don't know. It just tells us that the target is for higher price inside of the Dow. So really interesting to be able to follow the Dow priced in euros. If you just take a look at the simple Dow consolidation pattern out here, in dollars, you're looking at 798. For me, I think these are the most interesting charts for us to pay attention to help understand what the markets are communicating to you and I. All righty. So no other questions out here. Well, Steve, if you have time, could you post your daily NQ chart, seeing a Gartley there? Well, let's do that. So thank you for writing in, M, and let's do this. Let me go switch over here to the NQ. Let me start with my blankest type chart. That way there's less to look at and maybe something that is less confusing. Sometimes less is more. And let's go see if less can be more here. So let's pull over the daily NQ. And specifically, Maria is asking, could you just post your daily NQ chart? Seeing a Gartley as well. So here, Maria, is this what you're looking at here? So here's the A point. I don't have my cursor or my crosshair on. Let me do that. Oh, that's nice. Let me turn on the crosshair. That way it makes it a little bit easier. So the A point that I used was March 8th. That price 69.65. Moves up to a high on March 21st. I can't tell if March 21st or the 22nd is the actual high out here. I'm just going to use that. And then pull back into the March 27th. Is that what you're looking at? Yeah. So then if that's the case, what this would give you is a price projection of around 78.51. That would be the A to B equals CD. Now, in this case here, this too could be, I suppose, would be a 3-drive pattern, right? And I guess here's what it would look like. So I would be using the high from March 4th as your first drive. Then I would just simply trace the A to B equals CD out here. And this would give you, in essence, your price projection that you'd be looking at. So here would be that butterfly sell pattern potentially in that 78.51. What I would say, though, Maria, so I think that's what you were looking at, and so thanks for pointing that out. Now, here's what you and I would want to be watching. Let's say if this pattern unfolds. Remember we did the old rubber band mental trick out there? Only a 46% retracement. So very weak, from more than a 0.382, but less than a 0.618, which signals to us that more likely than not, the C to D leg would be more than a 1-to-1 area. And so maybe that pattern completes at 8,007. So maybe it ends up not really being the 3-drive. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, then you'd be looking at the 8,007, either because of time or some other element that just simply kind of discombobulates. That's also a big word, the pattern that's underway. But yes, at this stage here, as long as price remains over its highs, which it is, looks like that's either, let's give you the right price. That's 75.41. That is 75.44. I take that back. So let's just properly draw in the A to B equals CD pattern. No reason for me to, not that we need to be exact here, but I don't want to give you inaccurate information out here. So 78.55 is a number. That's probably the number that you came up with. And so 78.55, 80.12 would be the level, as long as price remains above 75.44.75. That is the NQ. Now, if we take a look at the NQ and go a tad further, if we can, and we can, I just have to get back here. Let me change the NQ from the ES multi timeframes. with regard to its TAS profiles. And so here you've got 77.78 is the top of the next monthly profile for the NQ, 7778. I hope that helps you out. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. 8:50 in the morning if you're listening at the normal time. Thanks so much for doing so. Tomorrow morning on Thursday, I'm also going to be coming live from 8 to 9 a.m. We'll be right back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So 8:54 in the morning, you've got equity futures up about, well, you got 1% to the upside inside the Russell 2000, about 0.7% for the NQ. That's up 50 points. The ES up 18. Dow 121 points right now. Let's go take a look at some of the pre-market movers out here. So to the upside, dollar-wise, NVIDIA is the leader. It closed at 183 last night. Trading at 185, really not that big of a deal out here. But what was the big deal 2 days ago for NVIDIA was that it closed above the top of a bearish structured daily profile. That was at 181.05. If we open this up here, it looks like NVIDIA making another A to B equals CD to the upside. I'm not going to turn on the volume at this stage here. Don't really need to do that if price continues to trade above. Oh, geez, that didn't work. Sorry about that, folks. trying to write the A to B or put in the A to B equals CD pattern and kind of messed up here. So as long as price is trading above 185 even Steven, this gives you a price projection in the 211 to 222 range out there. So 185 is the number it needs to close above today in order to generate that potential A to B equals CD pattern trading at 185.30. So we don't know what it's going to be like at the end of the day. Micron Technology, MU, is another ticker symbol. That's trading the upside, 43.80. Closed at 42.44 out here. Now, 43.80 would take out, if it could close above that level, would take out its weekly TAS market profile. And that could set up a giganto A to B equals CD to the upside if it can't do it. And that would look like this. Here would be your A to B equals CD to the upside for Micron, giving you a move. And that was not the large one I was looking at. This is the smaller one, 46.65. So, folks, thanks so much for being here. Tune in tomorrow again at your normal time if you'd like that. Then you'll catch the archive of tomorrow's show, which I'll be doing from 8 to 9 a.m. live here at TFNN.com. Have a great day. I'll look forward to seeing you on terrific Thursday. Take care, folks.